Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. He's Mike Brenner. We're the odds couple. We are from sportsbookreview.com, and we're talking with Joe Duffy from offshoreinsiders.com. It's week 5 in college football, and the game we're going to cover right now, the LSU game. Very interesting game here, right?
Interesting.
Now, Mike Brenner, you had a great read on LSU in the preseason. You predicted that they'd be overvalued and that Les Miles would get fired, and both of those things did happen. LSU was 0-4 against the spread in their first 4 games. Now, though, Les Miles is gone. How does that change things? Maybe it does. Maybe it's a different situation. What's the deal with this team in this game? I'll tell you, Mike Brenner, I crunched almost all of the college football games this week. This one, I don't even think I could make a guess on how LSU is going to respond to the firing of Les Miles. Obviously, this is a huge, huge deal, and it's hard to get a read on Missouri, right? They're 3-1 ATS, but 2 of those were massive blowouts as a massive favorite against Cupcakes. So I don't know. It's -13. Before we go to what Joe Duffy has to say about it, do you have any take on this game, or is this a complete pass for you?
At one point it was, but I'm trying to get into it, again, with the emotional edge and the momentum. But, we called it, and you kind of felt it as well. And that's nothing personal against Les Miles. He's not that guy. And what happened here, all right, the players saved his job last year because, trust me, he was going to get fired. The players literally went into the athletic director's office, did the whole pitch, basically like a petition, saved his ass. So this year, they're right away overvalued. They're supposed to do all this, high expectations, and he takes a shit. So now those same players who went to bat for him, you know what? They're a little pissed off. They're like, hey, we held up our end of the bargain. You didn't. So now you got fresh blood. You got somebody coming in. It's a whole new look. And guess what? This team, they don't want to do it just to do it for themselves. They want to show Les Miles, you know what? We are that team. We are that good. I got a feeling this team comes out hot and heavy and does it early. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger, and I'll probably do it on our show later, on the first half with LSU. I think they absolutely know we're better than what we've shown. There's whole new blood now, a whole new direction, and sometimes teams feed off of that. Look what happened last year with the Dolphins when Dan Campbell took over for Joe Philbin. Come on.
Yeah. All right, Joe Duffy from offshoreinsiders.com. That's Mike Brenner's take on this game. For me, it's a complete baffling situation. What's your take on it, Joe?
Well, I like Magic Mike comparing the college to the pros because I think I have really 2 angles that apply in every single sport, and both of these go before my offshoreinsiders.com days back to the score phones. One is my bubble burst theory. We've talked about that in the past, but another one is when a coach is fired in mid-season, and almost always it's going to be because the team is underachieving, usually there is a short-term bounce. So, of course, that would say to go with LSU. Also, I've said many times that college football is more of a momentum sport where the professional sports are more towards regression to the mean. But I have a rare exception here where it does say teams on a 4-game or more spread losing streak are actually 148 and 119 against the spread. So that would favor LSU. But my play here for the purposes of this video, as Pistol Pete would say, is going to be on the over. Now, this game's kind of the poster child of another one of my golden rules that also, I guess, in reality crosses all sports, that handicapping totals is much more about pace than it is about offensive or defensive competence. Well, the Sharps obviously know that. They bet the hell of this total. They bet the hell out of the over on this total. Ed Orgeron is clearly going to open things up. He flat out said that. Plus, clearly, when a team's struggling, a coach is going to go to the other extreme. They used to be a ball-controlled, defensive-oriented team. Ed Orgeron knows to get the job, to get the permanent head coaching job. Number one, he's going to have to win. But number two, he's going to have to get some style points. And he'll do that with really improving the offense. I expect a completely different game from a play-calling standpoint. LSU will open it up. Look, if you were able to get down on the opening line, it would be a great play. But still, even though the public has bet it up, I think the over is the big play here.
Yeah, the opening was at 51. Now it's all the way up to 54.5. So a huge move towards the over. Do you think that Missouri has the offense to do their share, though, or is it going to be all LSU?
Yeah, and I think some of those smaller casinos, even in Vegas, open it up at 45. They do. Josh Heupel has actually given Missouri a lift. He's a very good offensive coordinator. Their quarterback, Drew Lock, has been a pleasant surprise this year, and he's really credited, and a lot of people credit to Josh Heupel, a very respected offensive coordinator. He's thrown for 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. So, yes, I do think Missouri will do their part to put this
All right,
game
because
away.
LSU still has a talent on defense.
Exactly,
that
they do.
always
They
have.
do.
Yeah.
I got to jump in here though. But also, all right, LSU has some holes in that defense. All right, and that has been definitely revealed throughout. And that you can only put so much on Les Miles. But here's the thing, and I love Joe's breakdown. It's almost like his honeymoon theory. All right, this team is definitely embracing this new coach. All right, the interim coach. They like this guy, and that makes it even more dangerous because if they like him, they want to, like you said, the whatever the beauty points or whatever those kind of points. You throw it on top. This team wants to shine tonight. They want to show that they really are that team. But I still think the defense is going to give up some spots. The team that really picks up the spark from this change is the offensive team for LSU. Defense will play good. They'll play better. But I'm telling you, I still think the points are, I wouldn't be surprised if they gave up 14 or 17.
All right, interesting analysis, guys. Joe Duffy liking the over, even though it's gone up by 3.5 points, 54.5. And Mike Brenner, you going to give anything official on this one, or are you going to hold off until
I'm going to hold on to our show because I want to find out what the first half is set at,
Okay.
unless you got that in front of you, and I don't believe you got
on
that
the
in
spread?
front
No,
of
I
you.
don't. I'm
See?
assuming it'll be 7.
Yeah, it's probably going to be. So we're going to tune in for the next show because
Okay.
that's when it's going to be.
Joe Duffy's website is offshoreinsiders.com. He's been doing this for a long time, successfully.
Joe
since
swept the
late
board
80s.
last night, by
And he
the
swept
way.
the boards last week in 2016. Joe Duffy, give a plug for your website, offshoreinsiders.com.
Yeah, I already started this week 3-0 on Thursday night, and on Saturday I have 3 conference divisional game of the year plays. I explain exactly why. Hint, the reasons are related, but a huge weekend is already up at offshoreinsiders.com.
Awesome, Joe. Thanks.
Fantastic, Joe.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.